Hi everybody. I've had a request to make a 4th of July card, so here we go. I'm going to use this stamp of a flag. It's fairly detailed. We're going to use it as a background. It's by Rubber Monger. And because it's so detailed, we're going to use VersaFine ink. So I'm just going to ink this stamp. I'm going to use it upside down because it's so large. I'm going to position my cardstock exactly where I want it. I want to get a little bit of the blue part, what would be blue on the flag. Get a little dirty. Okay. There you go. Okay. Next thing I'm going to do is use some watercolor pencils. Now, if you haven't used watercolor pencils before, they're very much like regular colored pencils, like you've had when you were a kid, only they're water soluble, meaning you can use a paintbrush right on the tip and it will dissolve, pick up color and apply it, or the easier thing is to color and then use a paintbrush on top of it. So you can color fairly messily. Just like this. I'm just scribbling, trying to avoid the stars for the most part. Although you're not going to see this in much detail. That's why I don't care if I have blank patches, like right here where the stamp skipped a little bit. If you don't want it to skip at all, the best thing to do is to use a brayer over the top. Okay, I'm not going to do the whole thing because it's got to dry, and I don't have time for it to dry and show you the completed card. Now, for the red, to get the red I want, I don't have a red that I like for this, so I'm using two different colors, and I just layer them one on top of another. In doing that, you can use your watercolor pencils, however many you have, to make almost an infinite number of colors. Now this is just a water brush. It's got water in the barrel, and as you see, you just put it right over the top, and it smooths that color right out. You can't even tell it was a pencil. And you got to do it for every color. Clean it off a little bit in between, just on a paper towel. You can squeeze more water out of the base, applying a little pressure if it gets too dry. Okay, and like I said, this is going to have to dry so that I can glue it to the base of my card. So because of that, and I want you to be able to see one, I have one already done. Okay, and so it looks like this. Nothing spectacular, just basic, but it's cute. Okay, next thing we're going to do is I want a greeting, but I want something behind it. Now, I could stamp off, meaning stamp on something to remove some of the ink and then stamp on my project, but in this case, I want it to have depth. So to do that, what I'm going to do, you're going to think I'm crazy for, I'm going to stamp on the back of my vellum. Okay? Now I have this stamp. If anybody's ever been to Colonial Williamsburg, you see the fife and drum corps go down the street every afternoon. I'm going to use them on the back. So, I'm going to do it in navy. And this pad is archival ink. In case you don't know, the tops twist right off. Okay. Snap my cap back on. Just going to try and do this sideways so you can see it, though I'm probably not in the center. And there's the image. Now the problem is, for showing you this has got to dry because it's on vellum. What would be great is to have a StazOn pad. Those dry very quickly. I don't have one. So archival ink will dry on vellum and glossy papers and photos, but it takes about 20 minutes. So I don't have 20 minutes to post this video, and you don't want to sit there watching ink dry. So again, I have one done. So this is the image stamped. What we're going to do is flip it over on the back. So now we've got like a ghost image. Okay, and now I'm going to stamp a saying about freedom on the front. I think I'm going to do this in black this time. Sometimes I do it in the same blue, but I think I'll try it in black today. And this is StazOn. I'm going to pull it toward me so I can see it. Here we go. Okay, and to give this one time to dry, I already have one done. Although StazOn will be dry very quickly, like I said. So let's put these layers together. Okay, I've got a blue card base and my watercolored piece. Go ahead and put some adhesive on it. And we're going to do something called a stamper's bow. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. What it is it's a way of putting ribbon in a card and yet keeping it fairly flat to mail. Now, I've made a template so I know where I want my holes to go, and it's about there. I'm going to use this. This is a real Japanese bookbinding punch. Had it for many years, and I still use it. Although I use other tools as well. I'm going to enlarge these holes just a tiny bit since I'm showing you, and you don't want to sit there and watch me do it for forever. And I'm going to put this layer on top as well. Get that placed where I want it, and repunch those holes again. Okay, now, a stamper's bow. You have two holes. You go through the front, like this. You cross them in the back. Now, if your ribbon has a pattern, while it's in the back, you twist it so that your ribbon pattern is on the front, and then you go back through the same holes and pull them out. Okay? It's probably clear as mud, but here we go. Going in through the front on both ends. And I know now I'm not facing it. Okay, so we're like this. Flip it over. Okay, I'm going to put the right tail in the left hole, and the left hole, the left tail in the right hole. Trying to grab that little piece. I'll put this in through the other. Okay. Now see how flat that's going to lay for mailing? Now, in the front, you get a really nice flat look. Now, let me pull it closer to me to trim. I'll get my head on the camera. Maybe measure up my tails a little bit. Okay. This one's too long. And there you go. You can fuss with this a little bit, get it to lay flatter. If you wanted, you could put a little glue dot underneath it. But that's a stamper's bow, and it's perfectly flat to mail, and they never come loose. Okay, thanks for watching. If I don't make another video before 4th of July, Everybody have a fun and safe one. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.